Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mickey Clayton, the coach, bringing you the Claflin Athletic Show. And we always search to try to find people who are integral components and parts of what's going on in the Claflin athletic department. And today we got a special gentleman to you. And let me tell you how special he is. Akeem is so special that he has two last names, right? He got two. He spells his name two different ways. I don't know if he got an alias going on or not. But welcome to the show, Akeem. How you doing, Akeem?
Doing excellent. And yourself?
Not doing well as you. I just got one last. I don't spell my name just one different way. I don't even know how you get to be such a celebrity. You got two in an alias at your age. You running from the law or what? What's really going on?
Look, they told me to be special and stay special. My first name, Akeem, stands for wise and all-knowing, so I got to always stay ready for it.
You know what? With that answer, I'm going to move right along because that's a heck of an answer to it. Okay, tell us a little bit about what your title is. I mean, your title is about as long as your name there. But it's key. It's very important. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hear what this is about Akeem.
So I'm the academic advisor for athletics, student support counselor here at Claflin University. My title basically is I am the liaison between the campus and athletics when it comes to our student athletes.
Akeem, tell us a little bit exactly what that means when you say that you're the liaison. What does that mean? That's almost a legal term. So tell us a little bit about what that means.
So basically, I am the one that works with our professors on campus. I work with the tutors on campus. I work with the faculty, staff, everyone on campus when it comes to the academics for our student athletes. I work with the vice provost. I work with the provost. I work with them all because when it comes to the key to education for our student athletes, I'm the one that makes sure athletics is at the forefront when it comes to our students.
Wow, that's pretty deep there, and all those different people you work with. So you kind of a conduit just to make sure that they're academically on track with their majors and things like that. You kind of assume a lot of responsibility with that, don't you?
Yes, sir. Very much so.
Okay, but one of the things I think that probably plays to your advantage is that rumor has that you're a former Claflin student. So explain how that helps you navigate the system.
So it's very well a great thing because of the fact that being a student here at Claflin University, you already know the ins and outs of Claflin. You know how you have to be able to, you have to talk to people, and customer service is very key to it. So in order for you to get things the way you need it, you have to be personal about it. And being a Claflinite makes you personal and always on the hilltop high.
Okay, what about when you get teachers? Having been an academic advisor myself and having went to Florida A&M, a lot of times, you know, the degree requirements change. The students don't know. How do you play a role in trying to help them navigate that when the classes may have changed their senior year?
So some of the key exponents, especially like this year, we have new advisors on campus that are called academic coaches, success coaches. And a lot of them are changing, understanding the new ways that Claflin University have. So with that is being able to talk with the old professors and being able to help the coaches understand, the academic success coaches on campus to understand that we have to work together and make sure that we helping them tie in everything from the beginning. So that means that whatever the professors had before, we're making sure that we're doing the course substitutions to get them to be able to make sure that we understand that we're on point and that our students can be able to be successful and graduate on time still.
Okay, well said, well said. Now, who actually registers the students? Do you help do that, or do they go to the individual department? What role do you play with that?
So we actually have the academic success coaches that register our students now, moving from the old way of students actually registering themselves. So when they're talking with their academic success coaches, they're meeting with them so that they can understand what classes they need and either they can put them in or the students can put it in. But the way that I play a key role in it is making sure that our students understand that we have a certain amount of hours that we have to make sure that we adhere to in order to make sure that we are eligible. And at the end of the year, we have to meet a certain goal for NCAA. So I make sure that we're working with our academic coaches and our students so they can make sure that they're in the proper hours to be progress towards degree.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me, he's very modest because part of what he's saying that he didn't say is, for one, if a student's a full-time student, which a lot of our students start off full-time, but if you don't watch them, they'll drop a class or withdraw from a class. Now they're a part-time student and they're immediately ineligible. How does that fall in your hands? Because that takes some work in coordination with the registrar and some of the other officers on campus. How does Claflin do that to keep that from being an issue?
So one of the key things that we did when we started working with our register office was being able to put an alert on the students' accounts. With them putting an athletic alert on their account, it let them know that students cannot drop below a certain amount of hours. If they withdraw from a class, they're alerting the academic coaches, they're alerting myself. So we have a way that we're trying to make sure we stay on top of our game, because like you said before, students will take advantage of not understanding the system as a whole. And we have to make sure that we're there to make sure they understand what they're getting themselves into. So in order for you to be eligible on that court, you got to make sure that you're eligible in the classroom also.
Okay, can they withdraw from the class without you knowing it?
They are able to withdraw from the class without me knowing, but that's where our alert comes in, and we get them taken care of before they even finish filling out their paperwork.
So I like that, because it's almost like they need a signature permission from athletics to be able to withdraw from it.
Very much so, very much so. And that's the reason that I like the system that we're working with our academic coach, our register office, and athletics. It shows that it takes a community in order for us to handle business.
Oh, exactly. Because NCAA comes in and looks at that to see how you coordinate those various offices to keep that from being an issue. So you're also very, very involved with the NCAA process as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I work hand in hand with our compliance office. So academics and compliance go hand in hand. In order for you to be eligible for NCAA, you got to make sure you have your academics. So we work hand in hand at all things that we do.
Now, explain a little bit about grades. People have this misconception, or is not completely clarified to them with grade point averages. And explain a little bit about the required grade point averages and how it may or may not vary depending on if they're juniors and seniors. And it varies from school to school, because if you're not in good academic standing at your institution, you're not eligible. You can't even take transfers in if they weren't eligible from the institution they were transferring in. So what I'm trying to get everybody to see is that a team is multitasking a lot of different functions. And just saying it's academics is a broad scope of what he's doing, and is very, very important. So tell us a little bit about some of the things that you may have had to learn once you came on board that kind of might have escaped you a little bit in terms of how significant it was at first.
So some of the things that we had to learn was understanding that that it's 24 hours that the students have to make sure they pass, 27 hours that they make sure that they pass. So you have to pass a certain number of hours within a year in order to making sure that you're doing progress towards degree. Then within that, you have to pass the 9-hour rule. And the 9-hour rule is you have to complete 9 hours within that semester also. So in order for you to be eligible for the next semester, you have to complete the first 9 hours. So that's including that you still have to meet the 24 at the end of the year. So yeah, it plays a big role in making sure that our students are staying on task. So in order for them to make sure, in order for us to make sure that they're handling business, we tell them don't drop below 15 hours. Because if you're taking at least 15 hours, that helps you on the back end, because that helps you with, for instance, for South Carolina students, that helps you with South Carolina tuition grant, that helps you get the Hope Scholarship and the Pell Scholarship, because you have to pass at least 30 hours being a South Carolina resident. So if you pass those 30 hours with us already telling you, you pass these 15, you already hit NCAA, which is 24. You already hit South Carolina, which is 30. That helps you with free money.
Wow. That's important. See, 30 hours, man, that'll put you right in. You graduate close to being on time like that.
Very much so.
Now, the progress towards a degree is kind of a new thing that's come back over the years.
Harder combination. I want it all. He said, huh? I said, yeah, I want all the academic awards. I want all the team awards. I want all the championships. I said, I'm not selling up for nothing less. I said, this is what I want. And he was like, you know what? We're going to get it for you. I said, yeah. He said, well, we got to, I said, to be in the hunt, you got to have a 3.2 or better GPA. He's like, oh, I got that. Well, he transferred in with a 3.8.
Well, progress towards degree is making sure that you're hitting the hours in order to make sure that you're going to graduate on time. Just like we were just talking about, doing at least 15 hours. That way that you're making sure that you're hitting all the courses that are designed for your major in a proper manner. So it's making sure that you are meeting everything that you need to do per semester so that you can be able to be out here in 4 years. Some even do it in 3 years by doing more hours. But it shows that you'll have life in the balance, as Division II always say.
See, with the other part of that rule was implemented because people would take a lot of elective classes. They'd pass the hours, but they'd be no closer to graduating than they were when they first came in as a freshman because they wasn't following an academic track.
Correct.
Okay, do you have anything to do with the study hall setup and monitoring that? And Jesus, boy, you do everything.
Yes, sir, you said it. I multitask on everything that I do. So here at Claflin University, we make sure that our students are progress towards degree. In order for them to do that, they need to make sure that they're in study hall. We have where our students do 4 hours per week with study hall. Study hall is open from Monday through Thursday, and it is a community action for us. And when I say community, that means that all hands are on deck. Our assistant coaches help with it. Our head coaches help with it. Our administrative staff help with it. We use some of everybody to make sure that we're there. And our study hall goes from Monday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the afternoon. We have, I actually set up our tutors come in and help us. So we get tutors from across campus, including Honors College. So that's another way that we're broadening our horizon, making sure that the campus is involved with everything that we do also.
Wow, that's really good. And everybody says they like to get tutors, but what have you done to be able to secure tutors at Claflin? Because everybody says they have tutors, but it's not an easy job to do, to get those tutors and get students that you can trust to be where they're supposed to be.
Well, I've partnered with our Honors College and our Career Development Office, and also our Academic Success Center to make sure that I get
time out. You said something real good there. Go back again. You partner with who?
Our Honors College, our Career Development Office, and our Academic Success Center.
Okay.
So we partner with all of them to make sure that we get the correct students. And we already put it out there that we're looking for students that have above a 3.0 GPA, sophomore status or higher, and that they're willing to work with their peers in order for them to be successful.
No, don't stop. Go in a little bit more depth into that. That's a gold nugget there. So we're gonna mine that a little bit, get some of that oil out of there.
Come on.
Perhaps some other schools who listen can pick up on some of the things that you're doing at Claflin and implement it at their institution.
Well, when I say that we're working with those students, we put it out there and already talked to our Honors College director and our Career Development director and our director for the academic success and asked them, do they have any students that are willing to work with our students to make sure that we are all on the same page? So even if they have students that are on campus that need the extra tutoring, we open our doors from 9 to 5 to be able to help them so that they have a place, not just on campus. So it's not just for student athletes, it's for any students that need the help.
So the academic advisement program is even though that student athletes goal is not just for student athletes, it's for any student in Claflin that needs assistance.
Yes, sir. Because with that, we partner with them in different areas. Our freshman college has our tutoring center. Our academic support center have a tutoring center. Our trio program have a tutoring center. Our honors college have their own tutoring center. So athletics have their own tutoring center. But we all partner together to share tutors if they need it. So this semester alone, we've gotten 20 students from honors college and across campus that volunteer. And when I say it again, volunteer to help our student athletes and any other students that are on campus. And that's just in athletics.
I love the fact that they're mainstream with the normal student body. That's what we tried to do. That was the most successful one we had. Tell us a little bit about your trio programs. What are those 3 programs?
So when we're talking about our trio program, we're talking about our first generation students. We're talking about our students that came from Upward Bound and different walks of life, students that need that extra help. So it gives us that extra when you're here at Claflin University.
I already knew what it was. I went to Florida A&M as a counselor in the trio programs. That was my first job. So
Awesome.
I'm sitting here grinning when I heard you say it, because I was like, we need to shine a little light on those trio programs and those students that we get out of Upward Bound that we bring on to our first year college experience program and all of that. That, you know, those are some success stories right there. And from time to time, you even get a couple athletes out of them.
Yes, sir. And actually, I was one of them.
See, we have a common thread there. You know, to be able to come through and work in those programs. And I think a lot of those students who matriculate through that system have a special feeling and affinity for other students and really work with them because they had to work to get theirs. And so they understand how important and significant those programs play in their lives.
Yes, sir. And it even helps us because a lot of people don't understand with those programs, someone had to give to you in order for you to be successful. So you got to be willing to give back to them.
Well said. Well said. Again, I'm sitting here smiling. I'm real proud of that. Congratulations. And those trio programs are always near and dear to my heart.
Awesome.
Let me say this as well. I've seen Akeem actively involved every time I've been on campus. The administrative team from the Claflin Athletic Department, he had another comment he needed to put a copyright on. He said, all hands on deck. And everybody is working and pulling that boat in the same direction. And when you go to Claflin, you can see it, you can feel it, and the way that they are. Now, I was picking at Akeem because I couldn't find a picture of him I wanted to use from the soiree when they were cutting up at the table. But it was really good to see how well the staff gets along. That has to be very important, even in terms of dealing with the students, because even when a student is doing well, you can refer other staff members to them. And if they're not doing well, you know who to go to help get them straight. Tell me how that helps build a unity that benefits your student athletes at Claflin.
Well, one of the things that we here at Claflin has that a lot of schools market off of is that we are a family. We have so many people that have either went to Claflin, didn't go to Claflin, but ended up getting a degree from Claflin. But it shows the family oriented that we have. That family structure that we have here is really unique, and it keeps us wanting to stay at Claflin because it shows not only that we are a stronghold, but when bringing in recruits, that's one of the marketplace that we play on. We are a family, and we make sure that their family know that you're not just dropping your children off, you're dropping them off to a family that's going to be there for you. And that's what I love about Claflin.
Okay, share with us a story or two about somebody that you worked with, one of your students that holds a special place in your heart for overcoming some adversities or working, you don't have to give their name, or working towards their degree. I know somewhere in there's a individual young lady or young man that you really were proud of in terms of what they did and are doing. Share a story or two with us.
So it's probably a lot of stories that I could share. Being that I've been here for over 10 years, it has shown me so much that these kids play a special place in your heart. These young men and women, to see them soar, or to see them when they first got here to Claflin and knowing, hey, I just need that extra help. I just need that extra person to talk to. I need that extra person to have faith in me. And to watch them walk across the stage, it almost brings tears to your eyes because it reminds you of that was that shy student that didn't get what they needed, or that was that student that came from a different background and didn't have nobody there. That they, when they finally came and they showed up, they showed out. And to watch them walk across the stage really did something for me.
Where are you from originally?
So I'm originally, I claim Orangeburg, South Carolina as home, the wonderful Garden City.
Okay, so you have a number of students that you know their families and kind of watch them grow up a little bit. Share what that's like to be able to reach it back into the community and give
So
back.
ironically, our head volleyball coach
Mhm.
is a member from Orangeburg, South Carolina. And to watch her grow from when she played volleyball at Orangeburg Wilkerson, to watch her go play club volleyball, to watch her play for Claflin University, and now to watch her as my colleague really speaks volume about what Claflin gives back and the family oriented that we are. Because one thing that we do is we give back, and Claflin hires their own. So that makes it even special for us to want to be here more.
He's talking about they call her Coach Shy. We had her
Coach
on
Shy.
last week. One of the most organized coaches I've ever seen at any level. During our show last week, and please go back and see that show if you missed it. You get a chance to. I told her that I thought maybe her future was in administration because she was just so well organized, and she said what we already knew, that she has role models right there in administration that she looks up to. And one of the things when you hire and promote within, it motivates everybody else up under them that it's possible for you. Tell us what it's like for you at Claflin. You went to school there, you from there, you've been there. What's that like for you when you put on those colors that you put on and be in a position to watch the university grow?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it's a harder goal to watch from remember when I first came on campus and that you can drive through the campus to now seeing the campus to where it's at right now truly shows the remarkable changes that are being done at Claflin University. Being under Dr. Henry and Tisdale and now under Dr. Warmack, it has really showed me that these are two men that anybody that have to step in their shoes, they better be ready, because this is a university that has now made it a global statement that we are Claflin University and we are on the hilltop high.
Okay, share with us something that you've seen either one of those presidents do that you just shook your head at, that they were able to accomplish that.
So if I start back with Dr. Tisdale, I remember when I first got here, and he was our UNIV teacher, which is our first year experience teacher. And I was in his class, and it was 9 of us that ran for class president. And to be in his class and for him to have 4 of us in his one class, it spoke volume about him as a president, that he already shown us that we got a role model to follow. And the actual win, that's why Mr. Tony O'Neill calls me the mayor, because I run the business. I'm the president.
Okay.
And then looking at Dr. Warmack, for him to be so much as a student-driven president, it speaks volumes, because so many students are able to go to him and say, Dr. Warmack, I need help with this, or Dr. Warmack, I have a question for you. And being a president that you can have that makes himself available to students really speaks volume. And I go back to something I said earlier about customer service and being customer focused. That lets a person know that I'm able to go to a place that really truly cares about me. And that's what I love about both of these presidents. They really made it where they have an open door policy that you're able to talk to them.
I know Dr. Warmack is really student driven. He spends a lot of time with the students, highly accessible president, and he and his wife just do a remarkable job at Claflin University and in the Claflin community.
Yes.
What word of advice would you give to a parent or a potential student, not even an athlete or non-student athlete, because you're always a student first? What would you tell them academically that they need to do to ensure their success at Claflin?
One word of advice that I leave for them is to always strive for greatness, to understand that you are a student first if you are an athlete, because your education can take you way further than anything that sports can. But as a person, to be an educated mind is a strong mind, and anything that you handle, you can handle it well.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're hearing it straight from Mr. Akeem Boneparte. One of the things I have to say is that he speaks very well, speaks very eloquently and on point. Just for the viewing audience, so that you clearly understand, we have no pre-meeting. We do not go over what we're going to discuss. I ask him these questions on the fly as we go along, and you see how well this Claflin graduate handles the questions about his institution. We appreciate, beyond a shadow of a doubt, you being here. And in all honesty, ladies and gentlemen, he was here before me because I was just a little late. But he was here on time, ready to go. Once again, representative of Claflin University. Mr. Boneparte, anything you'd like to say in closing?
Just in closing, I'm passionate about my school, I'm passionate about my time, and I'm passionate about my students. Only one thing I can say, the #1 HBCU in the nation, Claflin University, always on the hilltop high.
Like us on Facebook.
I liked it on Facebook.
Follow us on Twitter. INSiiGHTS.
Yeah.
2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
All right, y'all.
Stay up to date with the latest from INSiiGHTS. Visit our website at INSiiGHTS.com. 2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
INSiiGHTS is the copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises and is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on INSiiGHTS represent the independent thoughts and representation.